Gareth Begley is a cash-strapped student and he needs $150 to join his teammates for a weekend in Byron Bay. In fact, he wants to go so much that he's prepared to sell his soul for the trip, literally. And since this is 2006, where else would you put such an unusual asset up for grabs but the internet?
This is the jar which houses my soul, and yeah, the soul housing unit.
So you've got your soul in a jar and that's what you're selling on eBay?
That's exactly right. This is the tangible representation of my soul.
Gareth Begley is selling the only thing he owns for the end-of-season footy trip. So how much do you think your soul is worth?
$150, I think, because that's the price of footy trip. But if it's over that, well, I'll be very happy.
It doesn't sound very much for your soul.
No, well, footy trip's such a good weekend. If you put it into perspective, it's a good sale.
I don't reckon he's got one, to be honest.
I know he's got one to sell.
Nah, I'm sure he does.
Eddie and Johnny are Gareth's best mates.
Personal opinion, I wouldn't sell my soul.
You wouldn't sell your soul?
Well, it'd be worth more than $150 to start with, but...
I wouldn't, money for nothing as far as I'm concerned. I'm not too worried about the religious side.
I'm not a religious person at all, so I don't really have much of a strong attachment to my soul. So
you're not superstitious at all? Didn't your mother say you can't do this?
No, actually Mum doesn't really know about this at the moment, so...
She might now.
Yeah, if you're watching, hi Mum.
Well, I think it's a grand thing for him to be doing, and I'm not sure if he needs it anyways.
Gareth's Aussie rules coach, Kim Lynch, says the boys won the reserve grade state championships last weekend, and that's why the party is so important. Strapped for cash, Gareth came up with a list of things he didn't need.
He first was thinking about selling his virginity, but we were struggling to find out whether we could fit it in a jar, how much he'd get for it, and whether he actually still got it.
It might be hard to prove.
It might be very hard to prove, that's for sure.
Do you think it would have been a bigger seller than his soul?
No.
Yesterday, Gareth's soul had attracted bids of up to $66. Then eBay pulled it from auction, saying Gareth could only sell something tangible. That's when he came up with the idea of selling his soul in a jar. But let's face it, what good is it to anyone else?
They can have a soulmate for life.
The one thing you'll always remember after the career's finished is every minute of the end-of-season footy trip.
Aussie rules legend Dermot Brereton says it's worth doing anything to get to the footy weekend.
Is it worth selling your soul? Absolutely.
The $150 will be used to get me down to Byron, and then everything else will be on a bar tab for the boys.
It's getting worse.
No, it'll be a good weekend.
You're shameless.
Yeah, I think I am.
Things blokes will do for a weekend with the boys. Chris Allen reporting there. Well,